Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Curtis Boyle, and beneath me is,
Stevie Strobridge Jr.
eh, yes, and a half. So what are we doing? We're going to do a little preview of Lee Patterson's Bouncy Ball. This is version 1.1. This is the latest version you can get from his website, 8bitcoder.com. So this is a relatively new game to the color computer. It's what we call a new brew. Lee has been promoting this for a while on the Facebook group and through his website. We got to meet Lee at Cocoa Fest. We got to see this game in person. I did a quick sneak peek play of it on the airport on my way to Cocoa Fest. And we're going to have an interview with Lee Patterson tomorrow, the creator of Bouncy Ball, also with Simon Jonason, who is did do a little bit of tweaking to this as well. I think Simon, we'll find out more specifically, but I think Simon helped Lee with some audio routines and helped them do an end sequence animation or something like that. So Bouncy Ball is a pretty cool game. It's definitely very retro inspired. It's simple in theory, but it gets very hard to play very quickly. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at it here. So there's different levels. There's mellow, there's forest, there's block field, pipes, challenge 1, caves, tweezers, square ball, challenge 2, wave, challenge 3, and hideout. So there's many different levels to complete. And so what is
Now, this
Bouncy
is
Ball?
based on an iOS game, is it not?
Yeah, he said this is a game that he had on his iPad. I don't remember the name of the original game. So it is, it draws some inspiration from an iPad game that was kind of retro inspired itself, you know. But this is running on a retro computer, you know. So it definitely looks like an old Atari 2600 type game, you know. So it's kind of like a breakout where but in this case here, you're steering the ball and there's certain things you have to get. You have to get all the green ones. The green ones are supposed to be the trees, right? So kind of like Farfall, there's an evil snowman thing going on here. I like how it just sits here and bounces really fast, you know. That's
Yeah, it's
really
basically
cool.
the ball continuously bounces up and down, and you control the left and right.
Yeah, we're steering the maze around the ball. The orange blocks are breakaway walls. The green ones are the ones you have to get. Now you see that green one down there? That's like one that we want to get. So sometimes there might be some hidden ones you got to go around. All right, so that now it says my trees, my completion there is 100%. There are 0 trees left, and then the purple exits the level. So you gotta kind of make your way through the maze, exit the level, try to get all the trees. Some of the trees will be hidden. First 2 mazes are pretty straightforward because you can't die in the first 2 mazes. So now we're going to the forest. Once we get to level 3, there's open space, and you really have to time and plan your bounces well in order to not fall out of the screen. So again, we start off pretty simple enough. Aren't too many hazards. Later on in the game, there will be yellow squares that will slow you down, and the red ones are like the death, instant death. So if you hit a red block, you'll die. If you fall through a hole and leave the world and leave the screen, you'll die.
That's
And
the ones
so,
I found the most toughest, is the ones where you
yeah,
leave the wall.
exactly. So far I'm doing okay. I can pretty much own the first 2 levels like a boss. No worries on these first 2 levels here.
Yeah, the only real challenge of the first one is to make sure you get all the trees, like you don't miss some of the ones that are kind of hidden away, but you can get to the exit first, and then you
Yeah,
suddenly take a look and, oh crap, there's another one down there I could have gone.
right. So you get 100% bonus if you get all your. It's kind of a low scoring game too, right? So well, 2 levels, I've got almost 1,000 points. All right, so we're going to continue. Level 3 is when it starts to get real, and I I have not beat level 3 yet.
Yeah,
I
this is
cur
one I got stuck on.
Yeah, I curse level 3, and you'll see why here in just a second. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to be using the blooper button on this video here because I might end up cursing a few times. Okay, so you really have to time your bounces. Wachoo! Oh, crap. Okay. So the ball never stops bouncing. Okay, here's a couple of greenies.
This is where it gets tough.
Yeah. Oh, see, I just fell out of the world. I timed it badly. You fell off the world. Curse you, Bouncy Ball. All right. Try number 2 on level 3. Let's see how well we do. Starts off innocently enough.
Yeah, because you got to both have the timing for the horizontal shift and also what direction you're going, and in some cases, how high are you already bouncing before you start shifting to the side to time it right to hit a wall so you don't go off the world. So it becomes quite a challenge.
Okay, so now I'm inside here. Okay, inside here, a couple more greenies. These are double greenies. Okay, now it's going to start to get hairy. Ah, crap, I was trying to stare it.
It was funny. I was trying this game a couple days ago, and I got really frustrated. I think you might have heard me swearing at it a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I stopped, and then I went back onto the Facebook page, and there was that one picture from eBay of that one Coco that's all smashed up, and the case is cracked. And I was going, oh, he's playing Bouncy Ball, was he?
Oh, I can relate, yes. I can relate to frustrated smashing of things. It reminds me of the story when, you remember when the Nintendo Wii first came out? We had the little hand controllers.
Yep.
There were people who were playing stuff and throwing them at their TVs because they didn't realize you had to hold on to them, you know? Like
yeah, that's doing... those wrist straps telling you can tie them.
That's an accidental smashing, but I've done a few rage smashings in my day. Oh! Oh, man. So, you fell off the world. So, let's go ahead and jump down to level 3 one more time. Let's try level 3. Let's see if we can beat level 3. And then I'm going to try a different level. Level 3, I wasn't fully paying attention because we started talking there. That rarely happens in our videos. We rarely start talking about anything.
Yeah, we never prattle. Hardcore facts and nothing but.
Yes.
One thing I like about this, it really makes it retro, aside from the Sonic Coco, that distracted you again, is that it's actually using Semi-Graphics 4, which is the built-in text low-res 64 by 32 color mode that you learn in the basic book. So your basic programming guide is using this exact same graphics modes that you've been doing some stuff in. So it's kind of curious to see what you could do with it once you started writing in C or assembly, which this is a hybrid of. And see what you could do with the low-res mode. I mean, low-res mode, most people think, that's so low-res, it's useless. But no, you can make a pretty fun and pretty entertaining and very challenging game out of it.
It wasn't bouncing, yes. Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the Atari 2600, all those games by even later standards of the 80s were considered to be lower resolution graphics, but there were some fun games to be played on the 2600. So
I think there was that one video that Nick Marenti's steered us towards at the Gamer Developers Conference. This one guy's actually done 2 conferences, 2012 and 2016 or something, or 15, talking about the old TRS-80 games for the Model 1, which Nick's game was mentioned on, and mentioning the fact that the games were nowhere near graphical or sound-wise what the games are today, which are getting photorealistic and everything else. But a lot of the gameplay fun has been kind of lost, I think, and I agree with him. The controls have gotten so complex, and you have to play online with other people to make it entertaining, because the game on itself is just basically repetition. So I'm trying to keep talking here to censor all your swear words out.
Curse you, Bouncy Ball. Okay, let's go into level 4, because I've never seen level 4. Level 4 is called pipes, because I can't beat level 4.
This is one nice thing. If you get frustrated with the level, you can skip it, go to another one, and then come back after you kind of figure out some techniques.
Oh, man.
Oh, good luck with it.
Yeah. Curse you, Bouncy Ball. It is a tough freaking game, man.
I jokingly said when we were talking about it before, I might have to figure out a cheat poke or two here to shut off the world end or something.
Man, why is it... It seems so simple, but for some reason it's so darn hard.
Yeah, and Lee, because he's actually programmed the levels, he made a comment, I think, on the Facebook group that, for him it's actually quite easy.
Right. The
Especially
guy who made
levels,
the game.
And the rest of us are going, oh my god.
Stink at this. All right, so I didn't clear level 4. Let's move on to the next level that I can't clear. So that was challenge 1. Let's see what challenge 1 looks like. But it's a cool game, and if you have a color computer or even a color computer emulator, you can get this from Lee's site. He's making it available via donations, so you feel free to donate what.
Yeah, basically the old shareware concept.
Yeah. Challenge 1. So far, I am not doing well on the challenges.
One thing we'll have to ask Lee tomorrow is if he plans on making a map editor available. I don't know how he did his maps, but I could definitely see some of the people in the Coco community coming up with some interesting, further levels.
Yeah, right.
And by the looks of the way he's got the disk structured, because it's not all one contained program, it's got a bunch of different files for levels and stuff. I think you could add levels probably fairly easy if his code handles it. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what the Coco community can come up with as far as more challenging stages. Or in our case, we'll make easier levels we can actually make it through.
Yeah, right. So that was
Just
challenge
two
one.
white bars in the top and bottom. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
2 white bars with lots of pickups. All right, so this one's called the Caves. Ooh, this one's got slow me downs. Oh, and that's death. Oh, I escaped death. Oh my goodness. Okay. This one's got death.
And you got to try to get the green in between. So.
Yeah.
Or you could be smart and just skip them.
Yeah, screw the green.
Screw the bonus points. Oh, just made it.
Yeah. I cheated death. Okay, so this one is going to take use of hitting death. Okay. All right, so that was called the Caves. Very cool levels, though. Very cool levels.
Yeah,
Very great.
good level design. I will have to take a look at the iOS version at some point and just see if he's duplicated levels there, if he's came up with his own or a mixture.
Oh, my God. I curse Bouncy Ball and I curse Lee Patterson for making this game.
This is one of those games. I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, but as a joke gift, there was an advertisement, and I can't remember if Rainbow had it or if it was like Creative Computing or Byte or something. They had this little soft foam mallet that you could buy.
Oh, like a rubber hammer you can beat, okay, foam though, right? So
yeah, it was foam, and it was basically for people frustrated programming or frustrated playing games, and then maybe you would keep it beside your keyboard, and every time you got really mad at a game, you'd grab it and hammer the piss out of your keyboard.
Yeah.
Or the screen or whatever, but since it was soft foam, it didn't actually do any damage, but you could get that frustration out. I could see this game, kind of requiring that.
Yeah, that could be a good Bouncy Ball piece of merchandise to sell, right? The freaking hammer. The Bouncy Ball tension release hammer.
Considering Linville and John Strong, the two Johns there, actually had some auxiliary products for their games on sale at the fest here. Yeah, a foam mallet for this would be a good one for Lee. And if we get too frustrated, we could beat
would
Lee
even
with
be
it,
better,
too,
be like one of those the squishy balls, the ones you squeeze on to relieve.
Yeah, that never really worked for me. I had them, and it doesn't take frustration out. It just makes my wrist sore. I want to beat something.
Yeah, right.
So.
Okay. This
actually maybe he didn't bring a foam mallet because we would have beat him for designing some of these levels. You bugger! Dude. Why did you make these so hard? Bang bang.
Right.
Just kidding.
Oh my God! All right. So so what we can see here, this one's called Tweezers. It's pretty cool. A lot of cool levels. It is a fun, addictive game. It's got plenty of challenge. This is one of those games that's easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah. And a lot of replayability. Like one thing I really liked about it, which not too many games do, is that you can just pick a starting level and go. You don't have to progress through them all. Because then you would get too frustrated. You just go, you know what? If I can't get past level 3, I quit. I'm not playing this game anymore. But he let it so that you can play all the levels. Maybe you get level 8 first, and then you go back to 3. And
this one's called Square Ball. I'm just going to go through all the levels and check them out. Square Ball.
Yeah, actually, I haven't done this yet, so this is new to me to see some of these.
Yeah. Loading Square Ball. Okay, so far it's a lot of open space. Okay, it starts off seemingly simple enough. Where's the catch, Lee? Where are you going to screw us?
Exactly. I got my foam mallet ready.
Yeah, right. Okay, so these are breakaway walls. Okay. So far, this is an easy level.
Maybe it's meant to be a relief after the previous ones.
I might actually get 100% if this keeps up. There's got to be a catch here.
This is a long level, though. You're only at 23% right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this one out. Oh, there's one that's in the bottom. I didn't realize there. Hello, Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, get the guys in the bottom. Yeah. All right, it's kind of breaking the world apart.
Oh. Okay, I think there might be no bottom there, but there was. So. Yeah, I think this must be a relief level.
Yes, this is
it's long. It's a huge level.
Steve level. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Okay. A little bit of a challenge, but not terrible. Yeah. If all the levels were like this, the game would be so much easier to play.
I wonder if there's a big bad thing right at the end of this one, though, so
Yeah,
you
right.
get lulled into a sense of
Yeah,
security for this
exactly.
beginning, and
I'm waiting for the bottom to fall out.
then you get a wall of red or something.
Yeah, there's a couple spots here where there's.
You're just about 75%.
$84 and counting. Okay, so now he's got a little bit of a challenge. Ooh. Uh-oh, something just froze. Out of time.
Oh, I didn't know you had a timer.
Curse you! Curse you, Lee Patterson.
There, that's the lulled into sense of security.
Oh, I thought, yeah, you can't screw around there. So that's like a speed run, huh? Square ball. Let's try this one. Let's just see if we can speed through it and get to the end.
Yeah, maybe not go after every green tree and just
Yeah, because it just felt like
go for the level end.
Yeah.
Just to see what it looks like.
Okay,
I wonder if it'll dock you if you don't get any of them.
Yeah, that was a bad bounce. And I may be dead here in just a second. And so, no, this is a cool game, though. It is fun. It is,
yep. And it proves you could do a really fun, entertaining, long-lasting game in the lowest res mode we had. I mean, there was a couple basic games that were pretty good in this level, but I didn't see too many commercial ones that actually did anything like this. I think I remember one called The Track, which is later expanded into an actual low-res, higher graphics mode game. But it was basically a racing car game where you could design your own tracks and save them on disk and have challenging levels and stuff too. That was actually not too bad, but that's about the only other, semi-graphics 4 game I can remember of any consequence.
Oh my goodness, this one's called Challenge 2. This thing is ridiculous.
Oh god, yeah. Have fun with that one.
Oh man, yeah. So you definitely, I think it's if you played it enough times, you would get a feel for it. Oh, you ding.
Yeah. Plus, you have to learn the levels. Like you have to learn where,
yeah,
certain bounces, what timings, what's coming up, that kind of thing. You're kind of doing this raw at the moment, so
yeah.
There's a bit of exploration and discovery too.
There's a lot of failure is what it really boils down to. Let's take a look at the last level. The last level is called the Hideout. And so assuming you beat all the levels, this is what you would have to be as your final level. Let's see what this
looks like a long one, judging by how long it's taking to load.
The Hideout. Okay. So we start by having to go under here. And we got some stuff up here. I'll probably run out of time, but I'll probably die before I run out of time, so I'm not really worried about that.
The stupid thing was I didn't even notice the timer. They've been sitting there the whole time until you ran out. And it's like,
yeah, right? Oh, wow, look at all that green stuff, huh? I'm going to ignore some of that green stuff. And I'm just going to fall through a hole while I'm at it, too. Look at this. So the Hideout, yeah, it's a long level.
And they got all the trees bunched up in spots that you can go off the world if you're just off.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of time your bounces. Or fall through the bottom. I timed that bouncing perfectly to fail.
Oh, you mean that's not the object of the game? Darn, I thought it was doing good.
Oh, curse you, Bouncy Ball.
And then the nice, interesting bit of trivia we'll be talking to him about, too, is that he didn't develop this in BASIC, and he didn't put it in machine language. It's actually written in a cross-compiled C. And I think Simon helped him with a couple of assembly routines to speed things up a little bit. But it's not too often you see cross-developed C games. I don't think I've ever recalled one on the Coco, except maybe in OS9, where C was a lot more popular.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things about that. So from one of the things that Lee was telling me is that because he wrote this in the language that you just mentioned, C, that it would be easy to port this to other platforms, making mobile versions, make a PC version, and so there is some benefits to using a portable language. And so that would be interesting to see Bouncy Ball transcend to other platforms. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So for this being Lee's first game on the Coco, I think it's a slam dunk. It's a home run. It is a cool game. It's fun. It is a fun retro style game. It's basically like Breakout meets steerable mazes meets a big giant pain in the ass because it's really, really challenging. But it's fun. It's addicting and it's curse worthy. You will be cursing yourself. You'll be cursing the game. You will be
cursing Lee for creating.
You'll be cursing Lee Patterson. So.
As you mentioned before too, it's a shareware, bagware, whatever you want to call it, type game. So if you do enjoy it, I mean, please support Coco developers and encouraging them to make more games in the future, and maybe give them $1 or $2.
Yeah. So you can actually go over to 8-Bit Coder, and even if you don't want to download the game and play the game, if you just want to throw a couple bucks at the dude as a thank you for making this game and giving us something to make this video over, do that as well. So check out 8bitcoder.com. Check out what Lee Patterson's got going on. And I think I have embarrassed myself enough on this game. Thank you, Curtis.
No, keep going. This was fun.
Thanks for being here, Curtis. Thank you, Lee Patterson. We look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and we will see you all next time. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, share with your friends. Long live the Coco. Peace out, everybody.